Oh my granny, Bert.
From it is, if you found out one of your homies told something, would you cut him off? I see you over there getting something together.
Just a little something.
We ain't never seen that on DJ UTV before.
There's a lot of shit you ain't never seen.
So what they call that right there?
Tony Montana.
2 years after Bloodhound Lil Jeff was shot 19 times in Woodlawn, the men who were allegedly with him when he allegedly committed murders are finally facing charges. Tommy Coleman, 22, is looking at 2 counts of first-degree murder. James Allison, 20, who went to the same school as the 2 teenagers they allegedly killed, is facing the same. And prosecutors have confirmed a third alleged shooter, deceased, unnamed in court documents, who the streets and the Cheericology community overwhelmingly believe was Lil Jeff himself. This is the full story: the murders, the trolling, the death, and the evidence that Jeff essentially left behind himself. Jeffrey Lamar Harris Jr. was born July 14, 2002 on Chicago's South Side. By the time he was making noise, he was already embedded in the Bloodhound Collective operating out of the 79th Street area. What separated Jeff from most drill rappers wasn't just the aggression, it was the specificity. He wasn't performing. He was reporting from the field in real time, naming blocks, naming situations, naming people. The Chicago drill community could feel the difference. He called himself the Bloody Reaper. The streets put his alleged body count at 11, and he didn't distance himself from that number. He leaned into it publicly, consistently, on camera. That bravado became the through line of everything that followed. June 25, 2023. The 1300 block of West Taylor Street in Little Italy, right near the UIC campus, 8:55 in the evening. A 19-year-old named Jalil Goins, known in the streets as Trap City Leo, was sitting in the back of a Lyft, just a passenger in a car. Someone walked up to that vehicle and shot him through the window. The Lyft driver rushed him to Rush University Medical Center, but it was too late. Jalil Goins was pronounced dead at the hospital. For people outside of Chicago drill, it might look like another tragic shooting. But people following the Bloodhound and Trap City beef knew exactly what this was. Jalil was affiliated with Trap City, which had been in an escalating war with Bloodhound for some time. Disrespectful bars, social media callouts, real-world confrontations. It had been building. What happened after the killing is what made Jeff's name ring differently across the culture. He didn't just rap about it. He went on camera and physically acted out the killing. He pantomimed walking up to the car. He acted out the shooting motion. He was essentially reenacting the murder of Trap City Leo on Instagram Live and posting it for the entire internet to see. Trolling in drill culture is part of the landscape, but what Jeff was doing with the Leo situation was at a different level. He wasn't just bragging, he was demonstrating, and every person affiliated with Trap City was watching. That content was being documented by fans, by the other side, and eventually by investigators. January 26, 2024, 12:30 in the afternoon. First block of North Wabash Avenue in Chicago's Loop, right around the corner from Millennium Park, right outside the Washington and Wabash CTA station. Tourists walking, office workers on lunch, and a dark blue stolen Infiniti SUV pulling up to the area in front of the CTA elevators outside Innovations High School. 3 men jumped out wearing masks. For approximately 15 seconds, they opened fire on a group of students outside. A 25-year-old woman who happened to be walking by had a bullet pierce her coat sleeve and fall into the lining. She survived. Montario Williams, 17, known as BKM Monty, and Robert Boston, 16, known as Lil Rob, did not. They were students at Innovations High School. The building was right there. They were outside on their lunch break, childhood friends, struck by gunfire and transported to the hospital where both were pronounced dead. The motive traced back to a beef over jewelry. According to what spread through the Cheericology community and has been referenced across multiple platforms covering Chicago street politics, Monty and Lil Rob had allegedly gotten into a situation with Lil Jeff over watches. Some accounts say a chain. The key detail: the jewelry Jeff was wearing was reportedly fake, replica costume jewelry, and Monty and Rob allegedly took it anyway. For someone with Jeff's reputation and the image building, being robbed of anything, even something fake, was a violation that demanded a response. In those streets, it's not about monetary value. It's about the statement. You got caught slipping. And Jeff was not the type to let that stand. What prosecutors assembled in the aftermath of the Loop murders is the kind of evidence package that rarely exists in Chicago murder cases, where the city clears fewer than 20% of homicides in some years. But this case was different because the people involved documented themselves. The night of the January shooting, one of the victim's mothers contacted police. While still processing that her son had been murdered, she told investigators that a student from the school had sent her videos that Coleman and others had posted on Instagram. In those videos, they were wearing masks and riding in the SUV before and after the shooting. And in one clip, the third gunman, believed to be Jeff, was filmed in the back seat rapping a verse about wearing masks, being armed, riding in a stolen car, and pulling up to shoot opposition. He filmed himself rapping about the murder essentially while it was happening. Coleman was reportedly in the front seat filming at the same time. Phone records from all three suspects showed their devices tracking together before, during, and after the killings. License plate readers had captured the vehicle's movement across the city. And James Allison's connection to the situation added another layer entirely. He was a classmate of Monty and Lil Rob at Innovations High School. He knew them. Surveillance footage from the school allegedly shows Allison changing his clothes and leaving campus approximately 90 minutes before the shooting. He left school early, got into the SUV, and allegedly participated in the murder of people he used to walk the same hallways with. By December 2024, arrest warrants had been issued for Coleman and Allison. Coleman was picked up in the Jefferson Park neighborhood. Allison was tracked to Crown Point, Indiana by Chicago police, working with the U.S. Marshals Great Lakes Regional Fugitive Task Force. Prosecutors confirmed in court that the third gunman in the Loop murders was deceased. The timeline aligns exactly. Jeff was killed June 8, 2024, months after the January shooting. He never saw a courtroom for what allegedly happened in the Loop. The streets settled that account before the law ever could. Now let's go back to June 8, 2024, because the way Jeff died is part of the larger picture. Saturday afternoon, 5:14 p.m., the 6900 block of South Rhodes Avenue in Woodlawn. Jeff was out there with a few people, reportedly sliding into Trap City territory. Surveillance footage that later circulated showed him in all black, chasing someone toward a porch or stairwell. He was on a fence, but somewhere in that sequence, the situation flipped. People inside or nearby returned fire. Jeff was struck 19 times, 16 bullets hit his chest. He was transported to the University of Chicago Medical Center and pronounced dead. He was 21 years old. An autopsy revealed the presence of fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol in his system at time of death. The Trap City Leo trolling, the Loop double murder, the Instagram videos rapping about masked-up rides in stolen cars, the reenactments on Live. Jeff had left a digital trail that documented his own alleged crimes in a way that is almost without precedent in recent Chicago drill history. He was not subtle. He was maximum visibility at all times, and that visibility served as both the foundation of his legend and ultimately as evidence against the people who were allegedly with him. What this means for Coleman and Allison is a Cook County murder trial with social media footage, phone location data, school surveillance, and a mother who handed investigators the first lead hours after her son was killed. The evidence is substantial. If convicted, they are looking at decades behind bars. For the families of Montario Williams and Robert Boston, two teenagers killed on their lunch break in the middle of downtown Chicago, these arrests are a step toward something, not closure. Nothing fills that space, but accountability. Two young men who were walking outside their school building on a January afternoon now have their killers facing charges in court. For the family of Jalil Goins, shot in the back of a lift in Little Italy while the man allegedly responsible celebrated it publicly on Instagram and built a following off that celebration. The weight of watching Jeff become a mourned and celebrated figure in the culture after his death is its own specific kind of pain. The streets moved faster than the courts in this story. But 2 years later, the courts are moving now. Drop a comment. Do you think justice will be fully served for Monty Rob and Trap City Leo?